This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete Haynes online manual at haynes.com.
Front brake pads renewal. Several types of front caliper are fitted to the lay-on range. There are minor differences, but removal and refitting of the brake pads is essentially the same for all types of caliper. Note, however, that FS3 type brakes have inner and outer brake pads with spring clips attached. On these brakes, the pads are removed with the caliper. Select first gear. Chock the rear wheels. Remove the wheel trims. Use the supplied adapter to slacken the wheel bolts. Note the mark indicating the jacking point. Position a piece of split hose as shown to protect the sill. Raise the vehicle using a jack. Position axle stands. Lower the vehicle onto the stands, then remove the jack. Remove the piece of hose from the sill. Undo the bolts and remove the front wheels from the vehicle. Turn the steering to full lock. Leave the pads back to allow them to clear the disc wear ridge. Remove the caliper guide pin covers by prising them out. Use a hex key to undo the caliper guide pins, then lift the caliper away. Pull the inner brake pad from the caliper piston and lift the outer pad from the caliper bracket. Then support the caliper using a wire hook. Position a cleaning tray. And clean the pad mounting surfaces with a wire brush and brake cleaner. The piston can be pushed back into the caliper using a piston retraction tool or G-clamp. However, best practice is to clamp the hose as shown. Then attach a brake bleeding bottle to the bleed nipple. Then release the nipple and push the fluid into a brake bleeding bottle as you push the piston back. Remember to tighten up the bleed nipple before you remove the bleed kit and hose clamp. Take note of the differences between the inner and outer pad clips. For models without brake wear sensors, cut off the brake pad wear warning light cable. Fit the outer pad and then fit the inner pad to the caliper piston. Slide the caliper with the inner pad fitted over the disc and outer pad. Apply a little HMP grease to the guide pins and refit them. Tighten the caliper guide pins. Now refit the rubber caps. Depress the brake pedal repeatedly until the pads are pressed into firm contact with the brake disc and normal, non-assisted pedal pressure is restored. If the bleed nipple was opened to push the pistons into the caliper, check around the nipple for fluid leaks. Refit the front wheels and tighten the wheel bolts. Fit a piece of split hose to protect the sill. Jack up the vehicle. Remove the axle stands, lower the vehicle and remove the jack. Torque the wheel bolts. Refit the wheel trims. Remove the chocks from the rear wheels and don't forget to remove the piece of split hose from the sill at the jacking point. Note the location of the brake fluid reservoir and observe its minimum and maximum markings. And note the current level of fluid in the reservoir. Clean around the reservoir cap. Then remove the reservoir cap and rest it on a rag. Use a light to highlight the level of fluid in the reservoir. The reservoir can now be topped up with brake fluid. Check that the fluid level is now at maximum, then refit the filler cap.